Well, folks, after an excruciatingly long 5 months, it seems we finally have some new box office numbers. So that means it's that time of the month again to do another box office chat. Okay, I can't really call this box office monthly since don't do these monthly anymore, and I know the name sucks, but still, box office numbers. So this is basically how it's gonna work. I'm gonna go over the top five of the box office from numbers 5 through number 1, and briefly discuss how well they did and how much money they earned. It's pretty self-explanatory, basically. So let's just jump right into it, starting with number 5, which was The Silencing. Now, when I first heard about this movie, I thought it was like one of those Quiet Place type movies, like Bird Box, where if you use like one of the senses, like a demon will come and kill you. But it's more like a hunt where these like two people are like being hunted in the woods by a guy, or like their son dies. I don't know. Regardless, the movie made around $44,000 from 73 theaters this weekend. It was also released on video on demand this weekend, but at the time of this recording, there's like no like statistics or how it did through video on demand. And I've also been hearing not good things about this movie, so do with that what you will. Now, coming out number 4 is The Rental, making $78,000 this weekend, which adds up to a $1 million worldwide total because, well, international numbers aren't really helping it out that much, but it's still making a ton of money. It's actually been topping the charts for these past few weekends right now. For a while now, actually, and it's also another VOD release, but it's actually been doing very, very well. It's been topping charts like iTunes and Amazon for a while now. So this movie's really resonating with people, and I'm glad that people are enjoying something while they wait for like the big blockbusters. So congratulations, Dave Franco. Now, coming up at number 3 is The Tax Collector, making $203,700 at the box office, which adds up to a $634,000 total. Once again, this is another VOD release, so it's obviously doing much better at home on demand than in theaters, but it's actually been doing super well, honestly better than The Rental. It even was ranked the most watched movie of the week on multiple VOD platforms, topping Trolls World Tour, which held the record for a long time. So, good job, David Hare. You topped Trolls World Tour. Hooray. Coming up at number 2 is Unhinged, which got a head start this weekend before its American release date. It released in Canada this past weekend and made a grand total of $582,000. And I'm not sure on what the worldwide totals are because various sites are saying various things. Like Forbes says it's at 8 million, but the number says it's at 3 million, and I'm uncertain, but point is, it's got a head start, and it's starting off slow, and it's definitely getting more recognition internationally. But what's going to be really interesting is seeing how well it does this weekend when it's released nationwide in America, and seeing how it's the first like big nationwide movie release. We'll see how that goes. But as for right now, it's off to a pretty good start, I will say, especially for movie theaters, seeing how they were closed for 5 months, and this movie making $500,000 alone is just a blessing, if I can be honest. But again, we'll see how it does this weekend. And finally, let's talk about the number 1 movie of the weekend, which was the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. Now, many of you are probably asking yourselves, what? This came out? No way. Well, yes way. The movie was theatrically released, but exclusively in Canada. So if you're a SpongeBob fan and you happen to live in Canada and you wanted to see it on the big screen, now's your chance. While the rest of us, unfortunately, have to wait till this movie gets released on Netflix or on demand or CBS All Access, which is strange that they haven't announced a release date yet, but they announced a release date for you guys, but that's a whole nother issue. Case in point, this movie opened to number 1 this weekend, making $900,000. Now, I talked about how a good start for theaters Unhinged was, but this is a pretty impressive opening weekend, especially since it's a kids movie and it's like there wasn't really that much promotion for it in Canada, outside of maybe a couple ads, but it still made this much money in Canada alone, which is surprising. And this is a pretty good start for reopening movies. And for this movie, it might encourage people to go to the movies. It might even see the movie itself. And it might even encourage Paramount to like finally announce a release date for this thing, because we everyone else doesn't want to be left out, and we don't want Canada to be the only ones to see the movie. So yeah, all honesty, this is a while it is only $900,000, it's a pretty good start for theaters and SpongeBob, and I'm curious to see how this whole ordeal will turn out as the weeks go by. And that's the top 5 box office this weekend, but we're not done yet, as we still have another week to look forward to, which is actually going to be really interesting, seeing how more theaters are going to reopen and more movies are going to start coming out, specifically 2 next weekend, which of course start off with Unhinged. That's like the first big movie set to start this whole new slate of movies for the rest of the year, and we'll see how it goes. It's definitely going to be interesting seeing how it made $500,000 in Canada alone. I'm curious to see how American audiences will react to it. And also, the second movie being a movie called Words on Bathroom Walls, which is one of those YA teen rom com movies we get every once in a while, and for some reason is produced by the Chainsmokers. I don't know, but we'll see how well that does, as well as how SpongeBob and the Tax Collector do on their second and third weekends. And that's going to do it for this week's box office chat. I'll return to Box Office Monthly once more movies start coming out and when we get more tracking numbers and box office predictions. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this little sub-series. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all social media links right there on the screen. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.